Good afternoon, everybody. Dr. Tim Turlip here. So welcome to this week's installment of 3 Minutes to Vitality. And we want to take a quick moment just to invite all the ladies who are listening and watching to our 6th annual Ladies' Night event. That'll be coming up on the 30th, which is a Thursday, May 30th. From 6 to 9 p.m. It's a Roaring 20s theme. We're going to have 28 different local vendors and stores and wine and food and music and all kinds of really fun stuff. It's a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society, and it is coming up, and it will be just a wonderfully good time. Last year we had over 500 women who actually showed up for the event. Don't worry, we've got plenty of parking. We've got the police are going to be here taking care of all that. It should be a great time once again. So please come out on Thursday the 30th from 6 to 9 p.m. Have a great time, and let's do some good for the American Cancer Society. And speaking of which, one of the things that we're going to talk about today, we talked a couple of weeks ago about flaxseed. And specifically, I wanted to touch on flaxseed and breast cancer. And another actually conundrum for a lot of ladies is actually hot flashes in perimenopause and menopause itself. So we got this with really simple strategy again with flax seeds. So flax seeds are a very small seed that we can pick up just about any grocery store these days. Every health food store will have them, but you can get flax seeds, very small seed. And comes in a different couple of colors. Let's put aside right now, it doesn't matter if it's the dark flaxseed, the brown flaxseed, the black flaxseed. Does not matter. They have a blonde one too. It doesn't matter, just flaxseed. Right? So what we want to do is look at utilizing it, because what happens with flaxseed is that there's something we mentioned before called lignans, which is a phytoestrogen that we find in the flaxseed. And that goes into our colons, and the colon converts it into these things called it doesn't matter. We're not going to worry about the words. But it gets converted, we absorb it. And what's really interesting is it then becomes this fancy thing called a phytoestrogen, a plant-based estrogen. So it actually binds the cells that are sensitive to estrogen. So it goes to the sites where estrogen might go onto a cell and activate the cell or turn off the cell depending on the specific action of that hormone on that specific cell. So in the breast, these guys will actually go in and mimic one of the estrogens called estradiol, and it'll bind those receptor sites and acts to inhibit the function of estrogen on those specific types of cells. Well, one of the things that we know is it's called an ER-positive breast cancer cell, and they use drugs like tamoxifen and different things to block estrogen's activities on that tissue. Well, this does it naturally. And we even have some really neat studies that actually have shown that women actually eating a muffin with 25 grams of flaxseed in it versus the women who didn't have it, who were diagnosed with breast cancer, some 35 days later, the women who were eating the 25 grams of flaxseed in this muffin each day would literally show, there's a fancy thing called apoptosis, it's programmed cell death, and decreased proliferation that was significant compared to the women who didn't get the flaxseed in just a month when they already had the diagnosis of breast cancer. There's other evidence that shows it increases survival rates by up to 30%. One of the studies that was really an amazing study that looked at women who consumed flaxseed for greater than a decade. Long time, but actually making sure that they're getting their flaxseed every day for a decade literally showed the decrease in all-cause dying from any cause, all-cause mortality of greater than 51%. Oh my God, right, over that same period of time versus women who were not doing it. And the risk of dying from breast cancer in that same period of time was reduced by 71% in those ladies. So this is significant. Another really interesting thing, another study was looking at, it was actually a European study done in Scandinavia that looked at women who were consuming, and I won't get into the amount right now, but were consuming flaxseed regularly over a period of time, and they were menopausal, and they were literally looking at the numbers of hot flashes, and the ladies who qualified for the study had to be having a lot of hot flashes. And really uncomfortable. And what they found over the course of this 90-day study is that the women who were consuming this couple of 3 tablespoons of ground flaxseed each day in a smoothie, on a salad, in a muffin, in their oatmeal, blah, right? But they were getting that every single day, had a greater than 50% reduction in daily hot flashes. It was actually the mean was actually a 60%, 61% reduction in hot flashes by consuming this quantity, 2 to 3 tablespoons of ground flaxseed every day for 90 days. Safe, effective, and wow, does it bring comfort. So it's something actually to think about. And guys, we've got other stuff for us to talk about next time as well. So thanks for watching this 3 minutes to Vitality, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.